One of the original dim sum locations in Chinatown. All right, hey everyone. Today we are on the corner of Walks Street and Canal Street. We're looking into Tribeca. You can see the famous Jenga building, which is 56 Leonard in the distance. And you could also see that famous spire of the World Trade Center. We're also on the one train stop, the Canal Street one train stop. And on today's walking tour, we're going to be going eastbound and exploring Chinatown, right here in Lower Manhattan. Now, all of these cars that you see buzzing past us right here, some of them are going eastbound and some of them are going westbound. It is a very easy street to navigate here on Canal, and the vast majority of the cars are either going towards the tunnel to go out towards New Jersey, or they're going eastbound through Chinatown to merge onto the Manhattan Bridge to get back to Brooklyn. We're now facing southbound. You can see that picture-perfect view of the World Trade Center. If we were to walk south of Canal Street here, we would enter the Tribeca neighborhood of Manhattan, which is, by the way, one of the most sought-after neighborhoods for the younger crowd. I would say young families with young children. It is very fashionable for those types of people in that demographic to move to that neighborhood. There's a lot of daycares, schools, infrastructures. Oftentimes, if you're walking around Tribeca during the day, you'll see a lot of nannies pushing baby strollers and the like. So Tribeca has really kind of risen through the ranks to become one of New York City's most popular neighborhoods. And of course, along with the popularity becomes high pricing. Now, last year in 2025, the West Village, which we've have many walking tours of the West Village, has dethroned Tribeca as the #1 most expensive neighborhood in New York City. But it's still expensive nonetheless. I do want to call out a pizza shop over here, which is one of my favorites in all of New York City. It's just fantastic quality, and it's right on the corner of West Broadway, right as you're about to enter into the Soho neighborhood. I'll give us one more look up at the Jenga building, 56 Leonard. It's always such a recognizable building in the skyline, quite unique. There's really nothing else like it in New York City. And as we get to the corner here, you'll be able to see one of my favorite pizza spots. This is Lucia Pizza of Soho. Once again, right on the corner of West Broadway and Canal Street. This has one of the best single slice of pizza I've ever tried. If we were to make a left and head northbound, this would take us directly up into Soho. Soho is very popular for being a high fashion neighborhood. Also, it's popular for the loft style living apartments, which are very expensive as well. Expansive floor plans, also very open concept floor plans, those loft style apartments. Here's the main entrance of Lucia Pizza. This is a great spot. As you can tell, it's always packed. Seemingly always a line outside, but for good reason. Now, generally speaking, once we get to that intersection of Chinatown, the northernmost section of Canal, right? So if you go north of Canal, you'll reach Little Italy. So you're talking about going Mott Street, then north of Canal. But south of Canal Street, that's when you'll hit Chinatown. I'm a big fan of the buildings in Soho with those cast iron facades. Also, a lot of the streets will have the original Belgian block streets. You can really feel that urban environment down here. With the buildings, with the fire escapes. Really interesting cityscape. We're now coming up on the corner of Green Street. And finally, the sun is just starting to pop out here, which is good. Lots of street traffic, though. And that's mainly because Canal runs east to west. So you have double the traffic trying to merge onto the tunnel. I've also noticed a lot of brand new boutiques and clothing stores opening up on Canal too. This one's called Drake's. It's very Soho-esque, I'd say. I believe they're really trying to revitalize Canal Street and sort of extend Soho south. We're now going to be coming up on the corner of Mercer Street.
Yeah, give me back, man. Give money, man.
This is a new coffee shop that I've always been curious to try. It's called Blue Dove Coffee. It looks pretty good. I've just never had the chance to try it, but it's right on the corner of Broadway. Well, I should say in between Broadway and Mercer Street. This is the subway where you can get the N, the Q, and the R trains. And we have about 2 blocks until we push up into the main area of Chinatown. We'll have to take a little bit of a detour as it is major traffic jam. This is now Broadway on the corner of Howard Street. We'll go ahead and make this right and then continue to head east. So remember, this is Howard Street now, and then the next street will be Crosby. Lots of beautiful architecture, beautiful buildings down here too. Here's an example of some more of the boutique shops. Wow, look at this, everyone. Right here on the corner of Crosby Street. Look at this contrast with the sky and the beautiful red facade of this building. Really stunning stuff. And now we're coming up to the corner of Lafayette Street. Looks like they're setting up for some type of production here. Oh, it's Fashion Week, I believe, in New York City. So a lot of the brands are coming into the city. This is also a really nice cityscape here. Look at that. I just love that contrast with the blue sky, those white clouds, and the older pre-war buildings. But Canal Street will be filled with hundreds of these guys running around. Oftentimes when the NYPD comes, you'll see them running and scattering all over the place. It is a little bit of a nuisance. It's a little bit mentally taxing to have them taking over the sidewalks and being aggressive with people, but now turn right and head south. Yeah, you can see, looks like the NYPD was kind of running them out of there. Every so often you'll have the New York City Police Department doing these raids and confiscating all of the counterfeit goods that these guys are selling and whatnot. All right, Center Street. We will now make a left on Hester Street. And continue to head over, and then we'll Head south of Canal Street once again. And then this is the corner of Baxter Street. Excuse me. All right, we'll now head right, and then this is going to take us right back to Canal Street. In which case, it'll be kind of the main area of Chinatown with a lot of the restaurants and the shops. Two days ago, I was able to go into the new location of the Malloy Wa. That's a very famous bakery that just moved into a new location. But they have really good pineapple pork buns, regular pork buns, pineapple custard buns, and it's relatively cheap too. Everything there is $2 or $3. So you'll have Mulberry Street. If we were to make a left on Mulberry, we will venture into the Little Italy section of New York, but that will be for another video. Today we're going to stick with Chinatown, which is one of my favorite neighborhoods to go out to eat. Some of my favorite restaurants are there. Also, yesterday was the main Lunar New Year, so Chinatown should be extremely packed yet again today.
Okay, honey.
I don't like how they put these barricades up. Kind of blocks everyone's mobility and sort of corrals them on the sidewalk. So we'll take advantage of the one gap, but Mott Street is where you have most of the restaurants, or I should say most of my favorite restaurants. Wow, you can really see how busy Chinatown is today. For the Lunar New Year. So Happy New Year, everybody. This is the Feda Bakery. Feda Bakery has a great location in Flushing, Queens. Lots of cheap eats, lots of good stuff. This is a really good noodle spot everybody's waiting in line for. This used to have an original location, I believe, on East Broadway by the Manhattan Bridge. At least I believe it's the same place. And then they moved their location to a bigger location right here on Mott, but look at that line. Hand-pulled noodles and dumplings. It smells really good here too. This place has been around since 1915. I'll have to triple check that though, but I remember when I was in college, my Chinese friends, would take me to a really good location on East Broadway, and I believe that location closed down and now it's here. But you'll have tons of new tea places here, lots of bakeries. This is like a cheesecake place. And you have these really stunning paper lanterns that are strung from all the different buildings, which is really quite nice. You can see all the confetti on the street. This right here is my favorite restaurant in Chinatown. It is 456 New Shanghai Restaurant. It's 69 Mott Street. One of the things that I'd recommend getting here is the chicken chili pepper dish, which is quite good. And here's a view looking back uptown. This place just off to our left, this spicy hot pot place, serves a traditional Chinese soup called malatang.
It triggers you. Yeah.
It's right here, this spicy hot pot place. But what I would recommend is if you want to get malatang in New York City for relatively cheap, you'd have to venture all the way out to Flushing, Queens, which is actually New York City's largest Chinatown. So the prices will be a little bit more expensive in the Chinatown in Manhattan, as you can see here. However, if you'd like to take a day trip, maybe out to Flushing, Queens, you can just take the 7 train and you can get perhaps even some better tasting food for a little bit lower price. Speaking of Flushing, Queens, this tea shop, Molly Tea, had their first location in Flushing, Queens. This is a very trendy tea shop in China, and I've never not seen this location busy for the Molly Tea in Chinatown. Now, this restaurant that you're going to see To our left, this wonton noodle since 1978 has a very good dish. That is the pan-fried bun. So it's President's Day as well. That's why there's a lot of people. But of course, a lot of individuals celebrating the Lunar New Year. But I would recommend the pan-fried bun dish here at Wonton Noodle. They do give you a discount if you order and pay in cash.
Do you want some fish or anything? Wrap the sauce and have a plate to buy.
So I'm going to cross Mott Street here for a second because there's this Chinese coffee shop called Cotti Coffee, C-O-T-T-I, and I think this is their second location. They may have closed down a location in, I think it was in Soho. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I went and it was pretty good. I'm not too sure how good this location is, but Cotti Coffee. This is a very trendy Chinese coffee shop, but I have not been to that location yet. Man, just the smells of this neighborhood are so good.
Oh yeah, you told me.
This is coming up on the corner of Mulberry Street. If you were to make a left on Mulberry and head southbound, it'll take you to the main courthouse where Nicholas Maduro had his hearing recently. We'll explore this side of the street. Best mochi donut in New York City. That's cool. It's like a ChatGPT prompt. Alimama. It's apparently the best mochi donut.
How do you know that?
Maybe I'll have to try it. It actually looks interesting. Perhaps I'll try it after the video.
Yeah. You just keep going north.
Have lots of different fruit vendors out. Very cheap produce around these parts.
Oh, right here.
Bayard.
This spot has some of the best desserts in Chinatown, in my opinion. Icy melon. And this is a cool shot of the intersection. You can see so many people walking about. And of course, all those paper lanterns. But Icy Melon's solid. You're going to see a huge line out the door here. This is for the Malay Wa.
Yes, my friend. What do you want? There you go.
And here you have it. This is 41 Mott Street. This is the brand new location of Malay Wa. This is a Chinatown staple. And their most popular menu item is the pineapple pork bun. But I'd recommend the pineapple custard bun, in my view. Or you can just get a regular roast pork bun from Malay Wa. We're now on the corner of Pell Street.
This year, last year was June.
Where do they go?
Another thing is that I've actually been here several times and gotten like the.
I always give this place a shout out every time. This is my favorite tea shop in all of New York City, not just Chinatown. This is Miss Dew's Tea Shop. I usually get a mango green tea from Miss Dew's. This is by far the best. Right on Pell Street, 33 Pell Street. It's fantastic. Can't beat it. Lots of new tea places open too. You have this new Tea Pulse, but of course you have the Joe's Ginger. This is a new spot as well, which I haven't tried. Dumpling House. Curious to try it. Here's the new location of Tea Pulse. There's now 2 Tea Pulse locations in Chinatown. The other one's located right on Canal Street. I wonder how well these are going to do. Again, I've only ever been to the one in Flushing, Queens. This is like an arcade game on Doyers. But I really love the vibrancy. Art Bean coffee roasters. You'll also notice how beautiful the murals are here. This Namwa is always packed. This is one of the original dim sum locations in Chinatown.
This is the one that came up on Little Jewels.
But there are better spots. Even though it is the original, from 1920. This is Chinatown's first dim sum parlor.
The price you pay for being
Usually in the summer you'll have so much outdoor dining here. This is Taiwan Pork Chop House. That was one Doyers Street. That's a very, very good restaurant. I think it's still cash only. We'll now migrate to a different part of Chinatown that we explore much less often. This will be the East Broadway part. Directly under the Manhattan Bridge. You can see all the red envelopes for the New Year. And we're now going to head all the way under the Manhattan Bridge. There's even a mall directly under the Manhattan Bridge that is much less explored on the channel. But since it is a sunny day, we might as well venture down there. Also lots of new restaurants. There's a good coffee shop, I believe it's called K by Seoul, or Round K by Seoul. Let me see if I can pull it up on Google Maps real quick for all of you. I know how to get there, it's just down the block. I think it might be under a different owner now, but as you can see here, It used to be called Round K by Seoul, but when I was in there yesterday,
Like this shop, remember this? Random stuff.
there seemed to be a brand new renovation, which looked pretty good, but different owner. Oops, we'll let these people go. And then on this intersection, we'll walk right under the Manhattan Bridge. You can see the underpass that we're about to walk through in a moment. Not too much traffic. Oh, there you hear it. You can hear the roar of the subway. So the subway goes over the Manhattan Bridge. Doesn't go over the Brooklyn Bridge. And here you'll see tons of shops. These are actually pretty decent places to buy, you know, some silverware and some plates and things like that for the apartment. You can get some pretty cheap chopsticks. This is now Market Street, and you're looking at Extel's new development of One Manhattan Square. That is a luxury development. Subway is loud. That's a little bit of a forewarning, it is loud. Finally, we have the sun coming out. This is now Eldridge Street, but we're going to make a left and head up and check out some of the vendors. There's always a lot of vendors selling different things. You can even buy shoes here, clothes, and of course, all of it is significantly discounted from what you would get in the stores. Lots of affordable produce too. Vegetables, fruits, really anything you need you could get. Looks like some really nice apples, avocados too. You have, you know, everyday household items. I love this cityscape view here too. This is like the original New York of what it looked like back in the day. Those pre-war buildings with the fire escapes in the back. That's just classic New York. Say this stand is probably the best out of all of them. Lots of fresh fruit here. Looks like $4 for that whole thing of cherries, which is great price. Really good price. Here too. Coming right off the truck. Honestly, if they had blueberries, I'd probably buy them. Ooh, the bok choy looks good. It's very, very healthy. Wow, look at the Orthodox Church. All right, just like that, we're back to Canal Street. We'll go ahead and make it right and continue further east. This is now the east side of the Manhattan Bridge. This is, I would say, underexplored in terms of on the channel, which we've filmed. This part of Canal Street, there's a lot of the bus stations where you can get the bus to Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina. Lots of import, export goes on here as well. Now, once we cross Eldridge Street, then we're going to be at that coffee shop I was telling you guys about. You also have the Chinatown Dragon Fighters here for the FDNY. So here across the street you have Engine Company 9, Ladder 6, the Chinatown Dragon Fighters. And this is that Round K coffee shop I was telling you about. It's a really good spot. Now right here is the corner of Allen Street. If you guys enjoyed that walking tour through Chinatown, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and as always, we will see you in the next one, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.